Okay, today we will start discussing random variables. Okay. Random variables are motivated by the following fact. So, when you have a random experiment, the experimenter may not be interested in the specific elementary outcome that results, right. So, if you have a sample space big omega, the experimental may not really care about what specific little omega shows up. He or she may be more interested in some numerical function of the elementary outcome. Okay. So, an example is that if you toss a coin 10 times, you may not be interested in what specific sequence of heads and tails resulted, but you may just want to know how many heads came up, right. So, that is a numerical function of your elementary outcome, right. The elementary outcome is a sequence of heads and tails, 10 long string of heads and tails, and you are simply counting the heads, right. And there are many more complicated examples where your probability space and your elementary outcome may be something very complicated, right. So, if you are looking at something like weather as a random phenomenon, it is very difficult to even propose a proper sample space or talk about what the elementary outcome is, because it is a very complicated phenomenon, whereas you may just want to know what the temperature is, which is just a numerical function of that day's elementary outcome, right. So, that is what motivates random variables. Okay. So, random variables are simply numerical functions of your outcomes, right. They are defined. So, it is a function defined on the sample space and it gives a real number in general, right. So, I will make this more formal. So, I just want to, before I really formally tell you what a random variable is, I want to tell you what it is not, because it is a misnomer, all right. So, a random variable is neither random nor is it a variable. Okay. This is something you have to keep in mind. So, it is not random, it is a deterministic function, okay. And it is not a variable, it is a function, right. So, it is a misnomer to call a random variable, right, because it is neither random nor is it a variable. So, just pictorially, and I will keep drawing this picture a few times. So, this is your sample space and it is endowed with some sigma algebra and some probability measure, all right. Omega f p is a probability space given to you, and a random variable is a map from omega to r. Okay. So, this is your map, we will call it x. Okay. We will always use capital letters capital letters like x, x1, x2, y, z, etcetera to denote random variables. So, normally for events and sets we use also capital letters, but we use letters like a, b, c, right. You may also use a, b, c for set for random variables, but we generally keep a, b, c etcetera for sets and x, y, z for random variables to the extent possible, and always capitals. Okay. Random variables are always denoted by capital letters. So, what happens is, so you have this probability space and your goddess of chance picks a little omega, right. That is what happens in the random experiment, right. So, your little omega realizes, and for every little omega there is a unique real number. This random variable identifies a unique real number. Okay. So, it is a mapping from omega to r, and it is a deterministic mapping, there is nothing random about it. Once you fix your little omega, it is a unique real number, all right. Every time for little omega is fixed, if for little omega 1 you may have some real number here, for some other little omega 2 you may have some other real number. Okay. So, the only source of randomness in a random variable is the little omega itself, right. That is the only random thing in probability, right, that little omega being selected by mother nature or whatever, that is the only random thing. After little omega realizes there is no randomness in the random variable, it is a deterministic mapping. You give an omega, it will give you x of omega, right. So, this will be x of that little omega, okay, and it will be some real number. Okay. So, we will use x. So, capital X within brackets to denote the random variable, which is the function itself, right, and x of little omega will denote the specific value taken by the random variable when the elementary outcome is little omega. Okay, fine. and if you are talking about the specific. So, if you want to say that the specific real number is the value x, you say x of omega is equal to little x. Okay. So, always capital letters for random variables and small letters for the values it takes. Okay. So, please retain this notation in your written work. Okay. So far, okay. Any questions? So far, I have said that a random variable is a mapping from sample space to real line. Okay. So, one little subtlety here is that, so just like not all subsets of omega are considered events, not all functions from omega to r are considered random variables. Okay. So, random variables are special certain nice functions called measurable functions. Okay. So, I have to define what a measurable function is, right. Let me just define that first. Let me just consider a function x from omega to r is said to be f measurable if for every Borel set B the pre-image x inverse of B, which is okay. So, the pre-image x inverse of B is f measurable. Here x inverse of B is equal to the set of all omegas for which x of omega belongs to B. Okay. So, I will explain this in a minute. I will also define a random variable on the probability space omega f p is a measurable function, is a f measurable function from omega to r. Okay. So, I will explain this definition now. So, I am defining, so here I am defining what an f measurable function is. Okay. Actually, in this case, I mean I have used the notation of a random variable, but this omega f could jolly well be any measurable space. Okay. You do not even need a probability measure on it, right. It could be any measure, all you need is a set and some sigma algebra on it, and any f measure any function f from omega to r is said to be f measurable if the pre image of all Borel sets are f measurable. Okay. So, what does that mean? So, you take any, so this real line is endowed with the Borel sigma algebra, right. Remember the Borel sigma algebra, right. It is generated by open sets on open intervals on R. So, you take any Borel set you want, let us say that is your Borel set, okay. This is your B, okay. I am drawing it like an interval, but it could be something very complicated. Okay. This is your Borel set, it could be some Cantor set or some complicated set, and you look at all those. So, this omega maps here, right. So, actually let me take my Borel set here, okay. So, this omega maps here, right, into B, and there may be some other omega that maps here, right. You take those omegas. So, let me just draw a pre image of this, right. So, if you look at those omegas that map into that Borel set, right, that will be some subset of your sample space, correct. Now, that subset of your sample space need not be in your sigma algebra F, need not be a F measurable set, right, but a function is said to be F measurable if every Borel set has a pre image which is F measurable, okay. Or in the case of a probability space, the pre image of every Borel set must be a event, correct, okay, everybody with me. So, that is what this is saying, okay. So, x inverse B, so this is notation, x inverse B is the pre image of the Borel set B. So, you take a Borel set B and you are looking at all those omegas in the sample space for which x of omega is in B, right, x of omega is a real number, right. So, the x of omega is this one for example, and you look at all those omegas for which your x of omega is in that Borel set, and that will be a subset of the sample space, and for every Borel set, if it so happens that that pre image is F measurable, then the function is said to be F measurable, okay. And after all, then we are saying that a random variable on probability space omega F p is just an F measurable function, okay. So, here as I said in this, for this definition you only need a measurable space, you do not even need a probability measure on it, okay. But a random variable is defined on a probability space, okay. An F measurable function can be defined on any measurable space. Are there any questions on this definition?
The random variable is actually a function, right?
Random variable is a function from omega to r, and we are saying that not all functions from omega to r are considered random variables. So, whether x is a random variable or not depends on what your sigma algebra is essentially, right. So, you should have all your pre images of Borel sets must be F measurable, right. So, that is what makes a function a random variable.
So, why the name variable?
It is a misnomer, as I said, it is a function, right. It is, yeah. So, it is a function, it is not random either, it is completely deterministic, there is nothing random about it, right. You fix a little omega, it produces a deterministic x of omega, right. The only randomness lies in the little omega itself, right, because little omega realizes randomly, right. So, a random variable is not random either, okay. Is this definition okay? Yes.
F itself will be Borel algebra.
No, see this could be, this set omega may not be even a set of numbers, it could be a set of numbers, but it could contain coin tosses, it could contain die rolls, it could contain anything, right, and you all you have is some sample space consisting of elementary outcomes and a sigma algebra on it.
So, Borel set to the sigma algebra elements. So, every element in Borel set there should be a mapping, inverse mapping.
Yeah, no. The inverse mapping. So, this is not the inverse mapping in the sense of an inverse function, right. This is notation for all those omegas for which x of omega is in B. Okay, I am not saying x is an invertible function, for example. Okay, that is not what I am saying. X inverse of B is the pre image of B, the set of all omegas that map to B. That is all. Okay. So, is this notation clear? So, we will use this a lot. Okay. Any other questions? So, if it is, for example, so you may have some so you can give examples of functions which are not random variables. If you simply have, let us say if you have non measurable sets here, right, if you have subsets of omega which are not F measurable, right, even if you find one Borel set or one some Borel set here whose pre image is that non F measurable set, that function will not be a random variable, right. We can create many such examples. So, you know that you take any non-Borel set. So, if you are looking at functions from R to R, you take any non-Borel set and put the map the function to 1 if it is in the non-Borel set and 0 to if it is not, right, and then so that is like an indicator of that set, right. So, if you have indicators of non-Borel set, you will have something that is not a random variable. Okay. We will give these example later. So, not all functions are considered random variables, that is all I want to say. Okay. Okay, so why do you insist? So, first of all, so why do you insist that you want a random variable to be this very special function, right? I mean, why do you want this to be f measurable? Why can't, what is the problem with saying that all functions from omega to r are random variables? So, ultimately the probability measure is only defined for f measurable sets, right. If you give me some arbitrary subset of omega, the it may not be an event, and I may not define a probability measure for arbitrary subsets of omega. So, I may have a situation. So, what I ultimately want to do is assign probability measure to Borel sets on R, right. So, if you have a Borel set whose pre image is not f measurable, you cannot assign a probability to a Borel set on R, right. So, I want to avoid that problem, right, but for a random variable, because pre images of all Borel sets are in fact f measurable, I can assign there is a well defined probability measure on R, which is what is called the probability law of the random variable. Okay. Of random variable x. So, x is a random variable on probability space omega f p, okay, that I am not writing again. So, the probability law of x denoted p x, okay, it is a function that maps Borel sets to zero 1, okay, and is defined as p x of b is equal to p of x inverse of b, all right, which is, so this is by definition. So, this is the probability of for which x of omega belongs to b, right. So, I should write curly braces here. Okay. So, this probability law of x, a random variable x, takes as inputs Borel sets, okay, and for each Borel set it will produce a number in 0 1, okay, and this number is in fact the probability of that Borel set, the probability of the random variable lying in the Borel set. Okay. So, what are we saying here? P x of b is defined as p of x inverse of b. Remember this guy, x inverse of b, right, it is the pre image of the Borel set b. So, remember b is a Borel set on real line, this is a subset of, this is a subset of the sample space, it is in fact an f measurable set. Why? Because it is a random variable, right, x is a random variable. So, for every Borel set x inverse b is a F measurable set. So, it will have a probability measure assigned to it, right. So, that is I am writing it out in full form here, probability of those omegas for which x of omega is in B, right, and this P is your original measure on omega f. Okay. So, that is the definition of a probability law of random variable x. So, it produces, so what does it in physical terms, what does it mean? It gives you the probability that the random variable takes value in your Borel set B. You give me a Borel set, it will give me a number between 0 and 1, which is the probability that my random variable takes values in that Borel set. Okay. So, in other words, so to pictorially, again this is a picture you may want to remember. So, you have your omega f p, that is your probability space, you have your random variable that maps to R, right. So, you take any Borel set, let us say that is your Borel set, it will have some pre image here, right, that is x inverse B, right. Now, this is an F measurable set, right. So, this is x inverse B and that is an F measurable set. So, the probability measure, the original probability measure assigns a value in 0 1 to it. Okay. So, you can look at the probability law as a composition. So, it takes inputs as B, it is a composition of x inverse and P, right. So, often in shorthand notation people write P x is equal to P composition x inverse, this is shorthand notation for what I just said, right. P x takes inputs as the Borel set. So, if you put a Borel set in here, you put a Borel set in here, x inverse B is a F measurable set and what is the probability of it, right. This is more advanced textbooks use this somewhat cryptic, but shorthand notation. Okay. It is a composition of your original measure P and your pre image under the random variable. Okay.